Awarded with the Heart and Hustle Award is given out by Major League Baseball's Player Association. What a great honor for DJ LeMahieu. We welcome you back out to center field. Jenny, Jason, and Jeff with you. And guys, I know, Huey, you get a vote on this award, and it's really about the character and the drive and playing the game right.
And I think he embodies all of that, and I think that's why he won, and deservedly so. And for the organization, it's also a great honor.
Yeah, a very deserving player, somebody I think all of our youth athletes out there can look up to and say, this is how you play the game right. You run hard, you play hard, and good things happen.
All right, let's get upstairs now. We'll check in with Drew and George for a couple of injury updates, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And the first injury update, I'm sure a lot of people were concerned last night when Carlos Gonzalez had to leave the ball game. Right knee inflammation, the reason given. The good news is, George, he's a quick healer because he's back in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, I felt a little twinge last night, back in the lineup tonight, and that is good news for the Rockies, bad news for the Nationals.
Absolutely. And the Rockies made a roster move today. Speaking of knee injuries, Mike McHenry's been battling a knee situation really all season long, and the doctors felt like the best thing to do would to to have surgery on Monday and to get that knee cleaned up a little bit. So Dustin Garneau was called up, and he was having a good year in AAA Albuquerque. George, he's a guy that can swing the bat. He's very good defensively.
He's done a little bit of both. He's an older guy, 28 years old, and again, this is a guy that's been in AAA the last couple of years. He's been in AA. He's went to the Fall League last year. So it's somebody that has been on the radar of the Rockies, maybe not necessarily of a lot of people in the media.
So he'll back up Nick Hundley. Pitching matchup tonight. Jorge De La Rosa has the baseball for the Rockies, and he's drawing a tough assignment. Steven Strasburg will make his third appearance since coming off the DL. He made his first against the Rockies last week. He was outstanding.
How about De La Rosa? I'm going to throw something out at you a little bit. And this is pitchers that have started 100 career starts in their home ballpark. He's 16th all-time in a win percentage of 56-25. His last start was against the New York Mets. 6 innings, 4 hits, a couple of runs. He struck out 7. He utilized that good split finger, the slow curve, and the fastball. And again, it's something he will count on again here at Coors Field. I think that's why he's successful here. Very good with the split finger. Strasburg on the other side of that, the 2 games since coming off the DL, they've been pretty special. He's got an earned run average around 2 during that span. He struck out almost 14 guys per 9 innings over those 2 starts. And against the Rockies, he had everything working. In Washington, D.C., just 3 hits given up. He was able to strike out 12 and did not walk a batter. And he utilized everything. But the prominent pitch in the whole sequence is the fastball. He can sink it, and he can work it to the outside part of the plate. And when healthy, probably one of the top 10 right-handed pitchers in baseball. And I say when healthy because he's had a lot of difficulties throughout the years.
Yeah, but he appears healthy right now. And as George mentioned, he has really thrown the baseball well. So it's De La Rosa and Strasburg. And it's also your favorite furry friend at the ballpark tonight. It's Bark in the Park night. Rockies and Nationals, come on back to Coors Field with us. beautiful Wednesday night at the ballpark. The Rockies taking on the Washington Nationals. Middle game of a 3-game set. Last night did not go well for Colorado in the late innings. They were tied at 6, and they ended up falling 15-6 as they gave up 9 runs in the last 3 innings. Jorge De La Rosa will try to change that this evening as he will be on the Coors Field mound. He is a guy that has had great success here, as you all know. Jason Worth, after leading off last night and producing a couple of hits, will do it again tonight for Matt Williams, as is frequently the case. When you go out and have a big night offensively, you're going to roll the same lineup out, and that is exactly what Williams has done this evening. The Southwest batting order will have Danny Espinosa again in that 2 spot. Bryce Harper scored 4 times last night without producing a hit. He walked 4 times. Yunel Escobar 4 ribbies yesterday. Ian Desmond had a big ball game. Ryan Zimmerman, Michael Taylor. The only guy without a hit in the lineup was Wilson Ramos. Steven Strasburg 3 for 21 this year. One of the things that have been different, George, this year about De La Rosa is his ERA at home is well above 6. That is most unusual.
Very unusual for him at home. He's 2-2 at home, 5-3 out on the road this year, but at Coors Field, we all know, you mentioned it, 47-16 in his Rocky career. So that's an exciting news for this ball game coming tonight against the Washington Nationals.
Let me tell you how special that is for De La Rosa. Since 2008 at Coors Field, or excuse me, overall, he's 76-50. He's 26 games above 500. You told me a long time ago. You said the bottom line for a pitcher is, did he win? Did he find a way to win? 26 games above 500. Since 2008, the Rockies as a club are 103 games below 500.
Tells you how special he is every 5 days.
So here we go. De La Rosa to Jason Worth. And the first pitch of the evening's high and away, ball 1. Home plate umpire is Jim Wolf, brother of Randy Wolf. A long and very fine career as a left-handed starter. There's Jim. Lance Barksdale at first. Quinn Walcott at second. Gary Cedarstrom is at third. That's in there. 1 ball, 1 strike on Worth. Well, Mike Fox, our producer, just pointed this out. It is Bark at the Park night. We have a Wolf behind home plate, and we got Lance Barksdale at first base.
Only somebody that would play hockey as a goalie would think of that.
And do you see those 2 dogs? You got the tiny one, and then you have a dog that looks like a wolf.
I tell you what, they had a great turnout for it here at the ballpark. I mean, this place was packed with dogs earlier as they took the walk around the field. And yes, you're on TV. Now you're on TV.
One and 2 on Worth. And swung on and missed. Guess what pitch he got, George?
Yeah, you're going to get the split finger, and he gets it here. A lot of scouts will ask you this. Is that his slider? No, it's not a slider. It comes right out of the hand. Is a very good split finger. Throws it extremely hard with the bottom falling out of it. And you can see it on the Subaru Supermo. The rotation of this pitch. It's a tumbling action straight over the top, depending on where the pull on the index or on the middle finger, which way that ball is going to break.
Here's Danny Espinosa, 5 for 13 this year against the Rockies. Espinosa in the ball game yesterday, 3 for 5, a pair of doubles. He drove in 2 and he scored 2. Switch hitter in from the right side. Danny, good buddies with Nolan Arenado. They're workout partners in the offseason in Southern California. Here's the 0-1 on Espinosa. 1-1. Danny had a shoulder injury that got repaired a couple years ago. Finally fully healthy.
The shoulder's a lot different than the elbow on a position guy. Takes a little longer for it to get back 100% as pitchers. So it's usually 18 to 24 months.
Boy, there's that off-speed pitch. It's 1-2.
This year the Nationals have faced some left-handers. They're 15-12 in starts against left-handers.
With their win last night, they got back to 500, 59-11. and 59.
Yeah, the Mets keep rolling though. They won last night 5-3 over Baltimore. Winning 3-1 in the 5th now. Ubaldo Jimenez on the mound for Baltimore.
Yeah, Syndergaard and Ubaldo. I don't know, Syndergaard, I don't know how he did it, George. We were watching a little bit in the 1st inning. The bases were loaded, nobody out. And next time we turned around, Baltimore hadn't scored.
Throws fast and throws quick and throws it over the plate. You don't hit it. That's how it happens. It's quick. Just like that. Yankees won today over the Twins 4-3. Toronto is losing in that ball game to Philadelphia 7-2. That game's in the 6th.
2-2 split finger count, and that looked more like a fastball that cut inside. 3-2. On deck, Bryce Harper. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Espinosa looking back at Jim Wolf saying, really? 2 outs.
Now they're going to watch that all night long, see if the high fastball gets called. I'm glad it did. Let's just expand the zone a little bit. Yeah, high and a little bit off of the plate both.
Here are the Rockies defensively. Kyle Parker is in left field. Charlie Blackmon played half the game yesterday after Cargo had to go out. Cargo, as we mentioned, in there in right field despite leaving early yesterday with a right knee situation. Arenado, Reyes, LeMahieu, Paulson, and Hundley doing the catching. Shift is on for Harper. 2 outs, nobody on, and De La spikes that pitch. It's 1-0. So yesterday, Bryce set a career high with 4 walks in a game, set a career high with 4 runs scored. Here's the 1-0. Outside. The Coors Light Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Clean, Crisp Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. So the last 5 times a player has had 4 walks, 4 runs in a game without getting a hit. Well, prior to Bryce Harper last night, it was Carlos Pena with Tampa 3 years ago. Then you have to go back to Tomey with the White Sox in 06. Then all the way back to 91. The former Giant Darren Lewis. And then Ricky Henderson in 89. That's how unusual it is. 15 total occurrences since 1914. Here's the 2-1 on Harper. And that's line to center field. It's going to drop a base hit. So Harper breaks up the no-hitter with 2 outs in the 1st, and that'll bring up Yunel Escobar. Rockies fans, make sure you join in on the conversation. A couple of ways to do that. Reach us via Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Make sure you use the hashtag ToyotaTalk. 15 hits last night for Washington and producing 15 runs. And Yunel Escobar was 3 for 4 with 4 ribbies. Hit a 2-run home run in the 1st. He also walked a couple of times. Moved his average up to 305. Strike 1.
Walt with some conversation with the home plate area. He looks over and kind of waves. I think De La Rosa got one when he struck out Espinosa.
This is slowly hit, and Jorge whiffs on it. That'll be I assume a hit for Escobar. We'll see. We had that happen last night. Scott Oberg fanned on a chopper back to him. This one was One of those deals where I guess he just tried to rush himself.
Oh, I was trying to get in a position, watch his footwork, trying to circle around the baseball to get to it, and just came up short on the baseball. They are going to give Espinosa a hit. Excuse me, they're going to give Escobar a hit.
So 2 on for Ian Desmond, who's really picked it up offensively the last several weeks.
Yeah, he's the one guy that has hurt De La Rosa over the time in his career versus De La. He's 5 for 12.
He was 3 for 6 with 4 RBIs yesterday on this lengthy road trip. He's 11 for 30 with 3 home runs. Look now, that thing's going to go way foul, but that thing may have gone over the concourse.
It's just strike 1.
That may have landed on one of the Union Pacific Railroad cars out there. 0-1. Fastball again at 92. It misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Desmond in his last 24 games against the Rockies has 8 home runs and 28 driven in, a .438 average. 1-1, and this is hit a long way the other way. Desmond, George, is like the anti-Jason Worth. Worth comes up there and he brings his camping equipment. Ian Desmond goes up there and he's hacking.
He's swinging away early. He doesn't want to get to a strikeout count. 0-2-1-2. He's going to look for where he has a lot of difficulty with the off-speed pitch, particularly away.
And that's to Nolan. He's got it. He'll go the short way to DJ. No harm done by the 2 hits. We'll see the Rockies on offense when we come back, and there are a whole lot of people interested and a whole lot of our four-legged friends interested as well. No scores. We go to the bottom of the first inning. The Rockies will face Steven Strasburg tonight, so they'll have their hands full. And here's the lineup Walt Weiss has written down for the evening, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Charlie Blackmon atop the order. Jose Reyes had 4 hits yesterday. First time he's done that in a Rockies uniform. He also hit his first Colorado Rockies home run. Cargo back in there in the 3 spot. He homered yesterday. Arenado, Paulson, DJ LeMahieu. He's got good numbers against Strasburg. Nick Hundley, Kyle Parker, and De La Rosa. Steven Strasburg, the product of San Diego State University. George, making his 16th start of the year.
Well, that's it. The first 14 weren't that good, and all of a sudden the last 2 have been really special. He's been back to his normalcy, if you want to call it that. How about this? With 91 innings pitched, over 700 innings pitched, I should say. Strikes per 9 innings. Of where he ranks with these starters. Randy Johnson, Hall of Famer, #1. Kerry Wood, pretty good starting pitcher. Strasburg is 3rd. Chris Sale 4th. Pedro Martinez, Hall of Famer, is 5th.
This ball sharply hit, but it's foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, it's confusing to me a little bit, though. The first 4 years in the big leagues, right-handers hit 217. This year, they're hitting nearly 300, 293.
Well, it's the first year in his career where he's given up more hits than innings pitched. 74 innings coming in, he's given up 83 hits. Still a 4-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, and that's in there. 1 and 2, 20 walks, 83 strikeouts. But in his last two, since coming off the disabled list, it's looked a whole lot like the Strasburg we've seen in years past.
That is. I mean, 12 strikeouts against the Rockies in his last 7 innings. That's that hard curveball. Fouled off by Charlie Blackmon.
Here's Washington defensively. Jason Worth, formerly a right fielder, he's in left field. Michael Taylor's in the middle. Bryce Harper's an outstanding outfielder. Former catcher when he was growing up. Escobar and Desmond. Desmond committed his 23rd error yesterday. Espinosa Zimmerman right side. Wilson Ramos is behind the plate. 1-2, and that's fouled off. A fastball at 96. He pretty much worked at 96, 97 in that ball game in Washington, in which he struck out 12 and did not walk a batter in 7 innings against the Rockies. Not a run on 3 hits. Charlie making him work.
Charlie having a pretty good success. 500 against Strasburg, 3 for 6 in his career with 1 strikeout.
Two and 2. Charlie came into the ball game yesterday and played center field when Cargo went out. And the reason he wasn't in the starting lineup, he was really sick on Monday, the off day. He was feeling much better yesterday. The Rockies wanted to give him an extra day, but he was forced into the lineup. He ended up going 1 for 2. He hit a double off the top of the center field wall yesterday. 3 and 2. He's really turned into a high quality at bat. 10 pitch upcoming. Charlie walked just 31 times last year in 648 plate appearances. He's already above that now with 36, and what a start. 10 pitch at bat, and Blackmon wins it with a knock to right.
Yeah, Reyes last night had a pretty good night. Jose came into this ballpark fired up a little bit last night. Came up with this infield single here. He beat it out to get things started. Then came up with the home run to right field. Just cleared over the wall. He came up in the 5th, got another single. Then in the 8th inning, a double. He had a nice night last night. Jose Reyes 4 for 5, raised the average to 265 as he entered play.
Jose Reyes tweeted out to believe in yourself and to follow your dreams. That this is success. Jose also had a 4-hit game in early July for Toronto, so it's the second 4-hit game of the year. It was not his first Coors Field home run ever. He had hit 2 as a visitor in the past. Here's a strike. Well, Strasburg's one of those guys you don't figure you're going to get a lot of runs off him. And you have De La Rosa going tonight. He's trying to build that first run. Believing he may bunt. Yunel Escobar, and Charlie is out trying to steal. He left a little early before Strasburg went to the plate. Strasburg did not balk. He stepped off the back, and they get him 1-6.
Everybody's yelling, going, 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 and that's where you snap. And a lot of times pitchers get in a hurry and they fire it out into center field. The ball beat Charlie there, but did the tag get him for the foot hit? It sure did. Well, it started out the way you wanted. It just didn't end up after that so quickly.
No, 2 strikes on Reyes. Charlie Reed's moves, we've talked so much about his video study of pitchers and their timing and any sort of idiosyncrasies that'll give you an advantage in the base stealing department. That time it didn't work out. Here's the 0-2. And that is a flare that's going to be grabbed by Desmond. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Cargo. Cargo gave the Rockies a chance to get even with a 2-run home run in the bottom of the first inning. Towering home run to right is 28th of the year. Next RBI will be his 70th.
Well, I really thought when that thing left the bat, it was upper deck. It sounded like it. The wind played a big role in what happened and the result of it.
Strasburg reached back a little extra there. 97 on that fastball. There's the 1-0.
You know, guys like Cargo, the harder you throw it, the harder he hits it.
Yeah, it just goes a little farther, huh?
Well, and then the biggest thing is, you know, you guys all talk about, everybody does, scouts hunting down location or hunting down velocity. And what separates velocity guys with success, if you can locate that velocity. Evident last night, the Rockies walked 10. I think, what, 9 of them scored in that ball game last night? I mean, you can't do that and expect to win. Last night, Cargo with the Rockies got his 500th career RBI. What a great night it was for him. And where he stands on the all-time list, we'll show you here just shortly. There it is.
7th player in a Rockies uniform to produce 500 or more. Todd on top. Cargo had a rip at that. It's 3-2. Now what they'll try to do, a lot of hitters try to do this with, they'll, in all likelihood, if they throw the fastball, they'll try to elevate it. It's a book on Cargo.
Well, typically when they're ahead in the count.
And you got him with a changeup down low. So Strasburg comes back and strikes out Cargo. No scores. We go to the second.
Coors Field, and Jorge De La Rosa on the hill. His first out he got tonight was a strikeout of Jason Worth. Is it the cutter? Is it the splitter? Well, I asked a guy that's caught him a lot this year, Michael McHenry, about what that pitch is.
Yeah, I'll call it the De La, you know, because it's kind of in between a splitter and just a normal changeup. But you know, the action on that depends on a certain day. Sometimes it gets a little quick and it becomes a little bit more sliderish. But when it's at its best, it's kind of falling off the table and running away from right-handed hitters, running into left-handed hitters.
Pitch to hit, and George, I know that you can show that grip and show why it's so effective for Jorge De La Rosa.
Well, we can, and just trying to stay on the game action at the same time. We'll catch you in here in between pitches, but see how those fingers are split outside the baseball, which I'll show you that grip here shortly. and then he pulled hard with that middle finger, so that created a slider type grip on it. And what you're doing is you're splitting your fingers outside the baseball, and you got to have big hands to be able to do it. And when you split outside, now you say, well, how does he make it go this way or that way? It's the pull with the finger. If that finger gets strong, the index finger, then he gets the slider. If he pulls with the index finger, he's going to get a dive like a sinker on it a lot of times. And I think the big thing with this pitch, and you see it come through, is you have to really stay on top of it. Think of holding on to it to the last minute in your hand before it releases to go to home plate. If it releases early and farther back, then it's going to end up floating and staying up straight in the air. And in your thought process when you're throwing this, and I teach a lot of kids this, have your fingers come straight through his eyes, separate the middle of his chest, and right through the center of his body all the way to the ground. Then you get the tumbling action on the baseball.
Do you want thumb underneath or to the side?
It totally depends on the guy. It's all about a comfort zone. Because I know when I threw mine, a lot of times I didn't have a thumb on it. I just kept it underneath, and it was the strength of the fingers. Now, Hub Kittle, longtime pitching coach in the Cardinal organization, first guy to show me. He showed Bruce Sutter. We used to do all kinds of exercises. You used to take your fingers and spread to see how wide you could get them used to. Because this nerve really gets tender in here on your hand when you first start doing it. I used to sleep with a tennis ball. Then it went to a women's softball, then to a men's softball.
Jose Mesa.
Yeah, I slept with them on my fingers at night. Would tape them around and would go to sleep to get my fingers spread to where I could handle that, feel comfortable with it, and build the strength up in the fingers. You got to have really strong fingers to throw that pitch, and you also have to have a very strong forearm to be able to throw that pitch. That's why a lot of kids, young kids, throw it and they get hurt. I still believe, firm believer in this, is that's why Ubaldo's velocity backed up, because he threw so many split fingers, Drew, that eventually it starts to back your velocity up. And with De La Rosa, his velocity is not 96 anymore. It's more 90, 93, but this is much more devastating now.
He walks Ryan Zimmerman leading off here in the second. Nice job with that, George. Michael Taylor at the plate. Swung on and missed. Michael, a couple of base hits yesterday. He had a busy day. The Colorado Christian baseball team is here at the ballpark tonight, but he went out to their school earlier in the day and visited with them, gave a nice speech, and of course he had a captive audience. You may be wondering, well, what's the connection? Well, his high school coach is now the head coach at CCU. This on the ground at third. Nolan will start a 5-4-3 double play.
Utilizes not only as a strikeout pitch, but as a downward motion, and the more velocity that you put on this pitch is where you get the top half of the ball being hit. And when that happens, you typically get a lot of ground ball action and weak contact, not hard contact. And that's where you see that Nolan got rid of the ball very quickly. DJ across the bag and quickly on to first base.
Wilson Ramos with 2 outs.
Well, Jerry Schimmel was also a coach, a recruiting coordinator for 3 or 4 years at Colorado Christian College, and worked there for a long, long time. And then, of course, Taylor's, as you mentioned, high school coach, now the head coach there.
Yeah, and Michael, it's how unusual what just occurred is this year. Just the second time he's been doubled up. Second toughest guy to double up in the National League. Jock Peterson is #1. And think about this, Michael Taylor hits from the right side.
That tells you a lot about his speed. And this is a young man. I mean, he's got good numbers now. I think they're going to get better numbers, 10 and 50. The 242 average prior to that at bat.
1-1 on Ramos. Note about Jock Peterson is he hits a lot of home runs, but he strikes out a lot. So the ball isn't in play as much. He's got a real fly ball swing. So Taylor does hit his share of ground balls. Pretty impressive stat. So the Rockies turn it over on him. Not easy to do. 1 strike away from getting off the field in the second in a scoreless game between Colorado and Washington. Here's the 1-2 on the Nats catcher. 2-2.
A lot of good young talent in the game this year, as far as Rookie of the Year is concerned. Duffy with San Francisco's hit 305. Bryant with 61 runs scored, 16 home runs, leading the rookies in RBIs with 66. Duffy's got 59.
You know, George, the first half of the season, when you talked about rookies in the National League, the conversation always began with Jock Peterson and Chris Bryant. And I'm not so sure Matt Duffy's not the guy to beat right now.
Well, or Heston, his teammate, with 11 wins.
Sure, and a no-hitter. Here's the 3-2 on Ramos, and that's way outside. So Ramos walks. That's the second walk of the inning, and that'll bring up Strasburg. Last night, the Rockies walked 10, which is inexcusable. You know, the thing about it, guys are going to have, George, you always pointed this out, you made your living as a reliever. The Rockies now have walked 410 hitters, the most in baseball, and 115 have scored. That's the most. The percentage being above 28% is the highest in baseball. And you know you're going to give up hits at Coors Field because of the vastness of the outfields. You can't just be putting people on. I know every guy who comes in from that bullpen, they're trying. Nobody comes in saying, hey, you know, I don't want to walk a guy.
Well, I think the key is there's guys you're going to say in the lineup, I'm not going to let them beat me. And for me, if I look at their lineup right now, the one guy that has just crushed the Rockies through his career, Zimmer. Harper. Two guys I'm not going to allow beat me. So then you have the intentional, unintentional. They're going to hit my pitch. If I walk them, fine. But that's not the problem. It's what you do after that. You put the ball on the ground, getting the strikeout, getting the out any way you can. But when you continue to have the inning where it's walk, 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 now you did a couple of wild pitches mixed in there too. Last night, I think the Rockies had 5 wild pitches in the ballgame last night.
But what probably is more troubling is a guy's going to come in and have a bad outing. I mean,
they're going to have bad ones. That happens.
But it's been a string of, you know, guy after guy after guy putting people on, and you can't have that.
They call it a free pass for a reason. There's no reason to give them one unless you're in a situation with a base open and you're trying to shut the game down. So it's obvious that when you walk the most and you see the most scored, it's something that's got to be addressed.
In the air, pretty deep right field. Cargo still going back. Will make the catch on the warning track. Couple of walks, no harm done. We'll go to the bottom of the second, scoreless at Coors Field. Brought to you by your hometown Toyota stores. Let's go places. By Colorado native, August is Colorado Proud Month. And by Southwest Airlines, book your low fare now at southwest.com. Jorge De La Rosa, Steven Strasburg hooking up here on Saturday night. Can your dog do that?
Are you asking me? Which one?
Any of yours.
Well, my wife whistles and just has dogs move in. I think I have 6 now.
I guess they're flirting. Nolan Arenado will lead. That's not a lap dog.
Yeah, it is. They're all lap dogs. I got a snickerdoodle at home. He sits in my lap all the time. It's actually a labradoodle, but I call him snickerdoodle.
No swing on Nolan. Arenado leading the National League in total bases with 249. Last week, Nolan ran into a fastball off Steven Strasburg. The only run the Rockies would get against Strasburg in 7 innings. 2-0. Swung on and missed. It's 2-1. So we're at August 19th, George. 249 total bases for Arenado, leading the National League. How about when Helton went over 400 total bases?
Yeah, it's crazy. The doubles he hit that year. Of course, Todd did a lot of things in the game that surprised me. Then after you get to watch it for a long time, it doesn't surprise you much. Great player.
Two and two. Inside 3-2.
Off-speed pitch, and it got him. 82-mile-an-hour curveball got him enough on the front foot on a 3-2 breaking ball, and he gets the pop out to shortstop.
One out, and that'll bring up Ben Paulson. Fun evening with our dog watching Rockies baseball.
Do you honestly think any of your dogs could come here and hang out with all those other dogs?
Yeah, Mac would do fine. Our golden. Stella, our English sheepdog,
wouldn't make it.
She would be a little harder to. Yeah, I'd have to really run her a lot earlier in the day. So she just wanted to relax and hang. She's a funny dog. 0-1 on Paulson. And that's pulled past Ryan Zimmerman. It's going to end up with Paulson at second base. Zimmerman won a Gold Glove for his play at third base, and that's really a play he ought to make.
Well, I thought he should. He went over to get onto the baseball, and he had plenty of time to get over. Being a left-handed fielding first baseman, when the ball's hit that way, he just went over and he kind of looked back at the dirt like, what that thing hit? You're going to take a look at it. He's staying down on the ball, and it's almost like it went between the leg and the glove. It didn't look like it went under the glove.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? I mean, unless it took a bad hop. They've not ruled on it yet. It is an error on Zimmerman. DJ's at the plate.
Third error of the season on Ryan Zimmerman. First 10,000 fans through the gates on Saturday, August 22nd, are going to receive a Carlos Gonzalez Star Wars bobblehead. We showed you last night. It's pretty cool. Get your tickets to the game versus the Mets now.
Dog's name's Chewbacca. Is that right?
No. But he needs something to drink. It is Chewbacca. Yeah, you're telling us it is.
DJ fouls it off. LeMahieu hitting .336 since the All-Star break. 5th overall in the National League at .318. DJ, a quality hack there. 2 strikes on LeMahieu. Not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. In fact, more comfortable than most hitting with 2 strikes. Strasburg 3-3, 2.77 lifetime ERA and 6 starts against the Rockies, but 0-2 at Coors Field with a 5.56.
You almost have to take the attitude that Zimmerman took last night. Give up 6 runs, go 6 innings, you got a chance to win.
Good numbers with runners in scoring position. A situation here for LeMahieu with Paulson at second after the 2-base error on Ryan Zimmerman. Washington committed 3 errors in yesterday's ball game. Obviously it didn't hurt them. They ended up winning 15-6. Hundley on deck inside. For the ball game, DJ was presented with the Rockies 2015 Major League Baseball Players Association Heart and Hustle Award. Very deserving. DJ lines this one foul by about 20 feet.
That's a very nice award for him to receive, given to him by EY prior to the ball game. Proudly go along the mantle with that Gold Glove. That's given by the Major League Baseball Alumni Association. Home office in Colorado Springs.
DJ bounces this to first, and Zimmerman has it. 2 outs, Paulson at third on the ground out, and that'll bring up Hundley. Who wants tacos? When the Rockies score 7 or more runs in any ball game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the following day. Do it between 4 and 6 to receive your Rockies taco special. Le Mas at Taco Bell. Hundley 0 for 5 last night, a rare 0 for Nick. A little 1 for 12 slide. Way to get out of it. Oh, excuse me, he's not in a 1 for 12 slide overall. He's in a 1 for 12 slide against Strasburg, but he's not alone.
No, there's a lot of guys in that same boat at times. And he just threw that curveball and got hit over early to count. Ain't the outside corner with the fastball, does not get it.
His kicks away. Here comes Paulson. The throw misses Strasburg, and the Rockies have the first run. I don't know if Strasburg tried to apply a tag before he had it or he couldn't catch it.
Yeah, 2 things. It was a bad throw from the catcher. He got in a really big hurry. With Paulson at third base, and you're going to try to take the advantage of this. A wild pitch out front, and as it gets away from the catcher Ramos, you can see immediately Strasburg goes. He's there well in advance, but the throw from Ramos, the sidearm throw, sailed well out of the way, or they've got Ben Paulson as a dead duck.
A couple runs scored on wild pitches yesterday for Washington, and the Rockies get one here against Strasburg in the second.
Well, the error is costly to them yesterday, costly to them today. The error by Harper yesterday trying to throw out DJ LeMahieu, and a wild pitch led to a run.
Ball's fouled off.
A few years past, I think you'd have tried to see Nick Hundley hit that ball out of the ballpark, and it'd be a weak ground ball or a flare somewhere. And under the direction of Blake Doyle, and really buying in, thinking right center, hands behind, stay through the baseball. It's been good results. Blake's done a really good job with his hitting group. Second in the National League in average.
And that's off of Strasburg toward Desmond. The throw to first. He stayed on the bag, out. So it's 1-6-3, but the Rockies come up with the run without the benefit of a hit. Two-base error, and Paulson eventually would come around on the wild pitch by Strasburg. And we'll try to get you into an upcoming game broadcast. With George Frazier, I'm Drew Goodman. Mark Stout with us as well. 1-0 Colorado as we go to the third. Top of the order for Washington, Jason Worth, Danny Espinosa, and Bryce Harper. Couple hits, couple walks allowed so far by De La Rosa. Worth struck out on a splitter his first time up. The 83rd time in Worth's career he's hitting the leadoff spot. Some of you may have forgotten that Jason Worth came up in the Dodgers organization. I remember when he was a young player, and obviously he's a big, strong, good-looking athlete, and his manager at the time was Jim Tracy. And Tracy said if this guy can stay on the field, he's really going to have a heck of a career. Well, Trace was right. It just didn't really come with the Dodgers, George. It came with Philadelphia and now with Washington.
Well, I think it's obvious his career with Washington would have been a lot more home runs, a lot more RBIs, too, if he wouldn't have been hurt so much. It's been a tough time.
Yeah, he actually got a start with Toronto, but really started to get regular action with the Dodgers in 04. Played briefly in 2 seasons with Toronto. 1-2.
It reminds me, yeah, and you look at the averages, it's about the same. Home runs are down over that 3-year period. RBIs aren't that far off. Runs aren't that far off. Been a pretty consistent player for me.
Yep. Hit 16 home runs, just 290 at bats for the Dodgers in 04, kind of his coming out party. Here's the 1-2, and that's off the end of the bat. DJ waiting.
Well, we showed you the split finger earlier, and then now we'll give you some ideas about how much he has used it over the course of his career, how prominent it has become in his career over the past couple of years. Got a little technical difficulty. We'll just come back to that here in just a few seconds. We'll show you that usage here shortly. Pretty good idea there with the slow curveball for a strike at 73. Let's now take a look. There's the use we're talking about. Much more here with 2 strikes. As you look at it in 2015, it allows him to use it and get ahead and get the strikeout. Almost 43%. Last start 38%. Prior to that, 2014 and 15, quite a difference.
1 ball, 1 strike. Espinosa caught looking at a pitch. It was a borderline strike on the outside corner that was up. Taylor will take it. 91 and 73 in his big league career. Jorge De La Rosa. That's a good pitch, and Jorge's going to get this and make a good throw. But when you get a lot of mishit balls like a De La Rosa does, so important to be able to field your position.
Well, you have to. You got to be able to get off the mound and get your feet underneath of you and make those throws. He'll be able to handle that. Even though he didn't handle one early in the ball game, they ended up giving a base hit to Escobar. But, this ball, the sinker down and away, just get out in front of it, catch the baseball, plant your feet, stay underneath, a little crow hop, and make the throw.
2 outs, Bryce Harper. Bryce singled to center in the first inning. Rockies put 3 on the right side. De La Rosa misses.
You got to have such great hand control to watch Harper hit in a ball game. A split finger is coming in, looks like a slider, but he jumps out on that front leg so quick, but generates so much bat speed. Almost like he's running at the ball.
This ball's hit well, left center field, but Blackman will get back and make the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning in the third for De La Rosa. Rockies leading 1-0. It was an unearned run. The Rockies, with every challenge call, the Subaru eyesight review will determine the outcome. Lovett's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Bark in the park, night at the ballpark. Parker, De La Rosa, Charlie Blackman against Steven Strasburg, and the fastball's in there for strike 196 miles an hour. Parker hit a home run on a slider yesterday to left to tie up the ball game at 6.
Strasburg fighting for the strike zone. 4 of 7 batters have been in a 3-ball strike count. Got a hanging slider last night right out over the middle of the plate, able to drive it. Stayed pretty flat. Some of about 15-20 rows up into the seats.
2-1 on Parker, former #1 pick of the Rockies out of Clemson. As a quarterback at Clemson, he completed just under 57% of his passes, 32 touchdowns, almost 4,800 yards in the air. That is line to right. It is foul. Set the Clemson freshman record for completions, yards, and touchdowns. He obviously was one heck of an athlete. Coming out of Florida in high school.
Rockies fans, it's back to school time at the Dugout Store. Shop the back to school sale with great brands and styles through the end of August.
2-2. This is a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's the second strikeout for Strasburg. That'll bring up De La Rosa.
As De La Rosa approaches home plate, I had Doug look this up just a minute ago. Wins by Mexican-born pitchers. He is 6th all time.
Is that more than Fernando?
Fernando has 173. Loaiza has 126. Valdez 104. Gallardo 98. Teddy Higuera, pretty good pitcher with the Milwaukee organization, with 94, and then De La Rosa with 91. Thought that was interesting.
Well, he'll move past Teddy Higuera hopefully this year. Gallardo was born in Mexico, grew up, I believe, in the Dallas area, spent some time, I think he went to high school at least in the Dallas area. Pitching close to his hometown now, Texas, Arlington. One and two. A couple young pitchers that we've talked a lot about, George, since the trade. Jeff Hoffman was going tonight for the New Britain club in Double-A. Went 4 2/3, gave up 3 runs, 4 hits. Probably his first performance where you wouldn't say outstanding. Jesus Tinoco went yesterday. 6 more shutout innings in Asheville. How about Tinoco in 4 ball games for Asheville? 23 innings. He's allowed just 3 runs. He has struck out 26. He's walked only 5.
Yeah, good command guy with high velocity, and you know that's why you see guys have success and dominate. You hear farm directors say it. When they dominate a league, they'll tell us when it's time to move. Might be time to test it.
And Miguel Castro, who was closing games early as a 20-year-old. This kid won't be 21 until Christmas Eve this year. And he was in the big leagues in April, closing for Toronto. He touches 101 with his fastball.
Pitches more than a 96, 98 range.
Right, and right now he's working still out of the bullpen. He's throwing 8 innings for this ball's well hit to right, and it is going to be caught out there by Bryce Harper. Talk more about what Miguel Castro has done when we come back. Rockies leading 1-0 as we go to the 4th.
The all-star second baseman for the Rockies. And I am here in the outfield of Bark at the Park with his lovely wife, Jordan. Jordan, tell everybody who this is. We saw him on the pregame show, but maybe people missed that.
This is Coors. This is our dog. He's very excited to see all these other dogs right now.
Coors is a Pomsky, by the way, guys. Half Pomeranian, half Husky. So question for you, Jordan. Has Coors ever seen his father get a hit in person? Because I know he travels.
You know, he's never gotten to go to another game. Okay. So hopefully we'll get some this game.
So I think we should keep the camera on Coors, guys, when DJ comes up so we can tell whether or not he sees his dad get a hit, right?
If he doesn't, we'll never be allowed to come back.
Oh, boy.
Or
George,
Mark, you'll never be allowed to talk to Coors again.
I won't be able to hang out with Coors again either. Right? It'll just be. How many dogs do you have, George? Six?
Hold on. Hey, Mark, can you tell that dog in front to put his tail down?
Hey, what's up, bud? We need you to get your tail down here a little bit.
He's a little bigger than you, Mark. You better realize.
We got Toby from
Toby's here. Yeah, Toby's a big boy.
Toby's happy, though. When they waved the tail like that, they're happy.
So, yeah, we got a lot going on out here. Toby, Coors. Coda's behind me.
I got a Coda at home. Mine's brown, though.
Is that your snickerdoodle, George?
I got a snickerdoodle at home.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everybody's out here. You get a bandana, you get a dog dish today. It's kind of neat.
You know Escobar at the plate. Mark, here's what I want you to do for us.
I'm listening.
Because you know we're dog lovers up here. Can you find a good-looking puppy that you think will be well-behaved and escort that dog to the booth and just tell the owner that you'll bring him back? Well, that's a challenge. Why don't you take Coors will come with you for a little bit, right?
Think Coors would have some fun up in the booth?
Oh yeah.
See?
Yeah, bring him on up. Bring DJ's wife too.
Let's do it. Maybe you can watch DJ hit from the booth. You've never done that either, have you?
No.
All right. We're gonna check off a lot of bucket list stuff here tonight. This is gonna be great.
I'm sure that was high on our bucket list too.
Was that on your list?
No, but
it is now.
All right, guys.
All right. 2-1 on Escobar in the fourth. The Rockies up 1-0. And Unell fouls it off. And we're talking about the Rockies' young pitchers that they picked up in that Tulowitzki deal with Toronto. And Miguel Castro, George, in 8 innings with Albuquerque. He's working out of the pen. He's given up only 4 hits, a couple earned runs. He has struck out 6th the league down there in the PCL, hitting just 154 against it. And there's been conversation as De La Rosa strikes out Escobar that potentially the Rockies would stretch him out this winter and take a look at him as a starter.
No, still young enough to find out an awful lot. Toronto was hurting for a closer at the time in spring. He was very impressive during spring training and earned the right to have that job. He had 4 saves with Toronto to start the year. But at 20 years old, why not experiment a little bit, see what you get?
All 3 young men that the Rockies acquired, all right-handed pitchers, but all good body types. You know, 6'4", 6'5", lean guys that have high velocity as part of their repertoire.
And they got a uniform on, they got a chance. Let's just see how they develop and finish up, and hopefully they get here.
A 1 on Ian Desmond, 1-1.
You know, it's hard for scouting directors when you say, hey man, what a great draft. Well, we'll see how great it was. You don't know.
You don't know.
You know, greatest players in the world haven't made it to the big league.
I think it's true in any sport. I love how, you know, we Monday morning quarterbacks, we have to write something, whether it be baseball or the NFL draft or the NBA. Oh, this team did so wonderfully well. You don't know.
You don't know.
Their name's on paper until they go do something.
That's right. And you don't know how certain guys are going to recover when they do have those struggles. They will struggle.
I'll give you an example. One of the scouting bureaus has put the Rockies' Brendan Rodgers, who was just drafted, a month and a half ago out of a Florida high school. And this is good news. They think so highly of the Rockies' selection of Rodgers. He's the #1 prospect in the Rockies organization. However, if you think about it, I mean, there's some other guys that have been, doing really well in the minor leagues for the Rockies for a period of time. But, because you have to compile lists, guys get.
But make sure
jumped
what
ahead of guys.
you said Major League Baseball. It's Baseball America has rated the prospects.
Yeah, nice pickup.
It's not Major League Baseball. It's the Baseball America people that write that. Jonathan Mayo and those type of people. A lot of times those get categorized not only by your talent, but how much money you receive as a signing bonus too.
Yeah, I mean this one's MLBpipeline.com, and they have just, you know, for the Rockies, Brendan Rodgers is #1. John Gray is listed #2. David Dahl has recovered nicely from having his spleen removed, #3. Jeff Hoffman, #4, who was just acquired from Toronto. Ryan McMahon is continuing to hit home runs and doubles in Modesto.
Good player, third baseman, big strong kid that could probably move to the corners, could get to the outfield.
#5, Forrest Wall, who was taken last year. Good looking second baseman, could really swing it. #6. Mike Nicorak, the high school pitcher out of Strasburg, the Rockies just selected, #7. Kyle Freeland, #8. Ramiel Tapia, the 5-tool player in the Cal League, is having a big year. He's #9. Miguel Castro is #10. Rocky's system is really well thought of now. Trevor Story's #11, and Trevor's making a lot of noise in Albuquerque. Here's a 2-0 on Zimmerman. 3-0. Rogers, if you're wondering, 28 games down in Grand Junction. Getting his feet wet in professional baseball. .234 average, couple home runs. And a 4-pitch walk, the third issued by De La Rosa. Zimmerman to first. He's walked twice. That'll bring up Michael Taylor. John Gray utilizing Twitter. Thanks to all the people, fans who've been so supportive and making me feel welcome in Colorado. Proud to be a Rocky. In fact, I retweeted that late yesterday. What game are they playing there, George? You spent a lot of time in dugouts.
They're watching the game. They're studying.
Is that what that is? Michael Taylor takes outside.
I tell you, you know, people think of this. They come to the ballpark, they see players doing this. It's a boring game. It's boring for a player when you're not participating in that night's ball game. The game can get boring. So you do a lot of different things.
6 pitches in a row out of the zone.
Guys don't do the hot foot anymore on other fronts.
Hot foot used to seem like every other week you saw some team doing a hot foot.
Blyleven was the best. Bert used to crawl. He'd come out of the dugout set and crawl on his belly for like 2 innings underneath the bench, and nobody'd ever notice he's down there. And he'd get Frank Viola or one of those guys. Take the bubble gum, put the matches in, and then light the matches and walk away. Stick that bubble gum on the side of a guy's foot. Worked every time.
3-1 with 2 outs. Zimmerman at first. And a walk to Taylor. That's 4 walks. You're living dangerously when you do that, as we all know. Wilson Ramos coming up.
That's part of it, but also the pitch count climbs when you do this. I mean, in the 4th inning, it's still pretty good right now. I mean, it's 69 pitches on the board here at Coors Field. So, I mean, you're still in a pretty good realm. But the thing is, it just kind of sets the defense back a little bit. It's happened a couple of times in this ball game, and now those walks came in the bottom of the order, as they have here.
Well, it's the most he's walked in a game since June 30th in Oakland when he walked 4, but he also threw 7 shutout innings that day against the A's.
What helps De La Rosa, you get an aggressive swinging team against him. They'll chase that sinker out of the zone. They'll chase the split.
Ramos walked his first time, so all 4 walks here in the bottom portion of the order. Ramos just 2 for 16 against the Rockies this year. Hard on the ground to second. DJ going to stay with that as the hop came up on him. DJ made the play to end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. The Rockies ahead 1-0. It's Walt Weiss and Jorge De La Rosa, kind of his type of game, isn't it, Walt?
Yeah, we've seen this many times before. He's got the good changeup, cutter mix going, and yeah, he looks good. He's locked in.
Well, and I'd like to see the hitters get a little aggressive here against this guy. This guy's kind of nibbling a little bit. Strasburg, get more balls down the middle. He's getting in behind hitter counts too.
Yeah, we need to take advantage of that, and we don't want him to settle in. We saw what happened in D.C. when he did that.
Absolutely. Walt, good luck the rest of the way. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Walt Weiss from the Rockies dugout. Jose Reyes will be first here against Strasburg in the 4th. Reyes, Gonzalez, Arenado. Second look at Strasburg. I would think it helps to a certain degree seeing a guy twice in a short period of time. This ball pulled to Zimmerman. This time he got the glove down and makes the play. 1 out. Of course, when you have top shelf stuff like Strasburg, you can say a lot of things in theory that don't really mean much when you try to apply it because they're filthy. Cargo struck out after being ahead 3-0. He fanned on a 3-2 changeup from Steven Strasburg. Cargo's hit 15 home runs since the All-Star break. Nobody else in the National League's in double figures.
You know, back to statistics all the time, or analytics, whatever you want to call it. 78% of the time he throws a fastball. So as a hitter, you go in there and gear up on that first pitch fastball, and then you spin you a breakable, or they spin you the changeup. My deal, I want to know, out of those 75% of fastballs that they throw first pitch, or like last night we talked about Zimmerman, a lot of time it counts, he throws it at this time and that time. What's the results then? Because a guy can throw it 75% of the time, but if it's 98 and on the block, he has pretty good success with it.
1-1. And this is dribbled right back to Strasburg. 2 outs. Nolan Arenado popped to short in his first appearance tonight against Strasburg. The day after every Rockies victory, get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. The promo code is ROCKSWIN at papajohns.com. Arenado 3 hits last night, a pair of doubles, 1 for 9 in his career against Strasburg. We showed you the one. It was a home run in D.C. And Nolan's 29 home runs have come out on the road. Strasburg's mixing his pitches more in this outing than he did in Washington. It was a lot of fastball, curveball.
Yeah, the difference I see in the 2 outings is with his fastball there, he had great command in and out. I haven't seen that command with the fastball, and he's missed away more with the fastball than he's been able to paint the outside corner.
Here's the 1-2 on Nolan. Story's been told before. Strasburg went to San Diego State. He was an area kid with a big arm, but the body wasn't in very good shape.
Well, it was a big arm, but it was 89-92. It wasn't 95-99.
But he really worked hard on his body in college, and
well, he was fat.
George,
he weighed 265 pounds.
Yeah,
he was huge.
He's trying to be more delicate than that.
You don't have to be. And basically they said, you're going to pitch here, you better go lose weight and get to redefine your body, and he did.
Of course, he was recruited by the late Tony Gwynn. Rockies ahead 1-0, an unearned run. It scored on a wild pitch, and that's going to be a base hit up the middle. The Rockies have just their 2nd hit, and that'll bring up Ben Paulson, who scored the run. Remember, he reached on a 2-base error by Ryan Zimmerman. Zimmerman, a ball that was hit pretty well down the first base line, got to the baseball, but just kind of fanned on it. Paulson ended up at second base, moved to third on a ground out by LeMahieu to the right side, and then scored on a wild pitch. First pitch in play, if Ben gets it in play, he's hitting .553. First pitch is ball 1. Oh, George, we got a visitor.
Where is it? Where is he? Come here, buddy. Come on. Come on. There you go. Come on. Will you hold? Let me hold him. Thank you. Drew, get your hands off the dog.
The dog, George, you know the dog will trust me more than you.
You think? I'll ask him that right now. I think he likes this stuff. Yeah, give me a kiss. Good job. See, now you tell me the dog doesn't like me. Crazy.
I thought the dog had better taste.
What do you think? Dad,
course.
Hey, on deck circle. It's on the on deck circle, but yeah.
Paulson slices that foul.
He doesn't like you. See him looking at Drew like, who are you? What happened to all your hair, buddy? That's what he's asking. Did you hear him?
Long gone.
Long gone. That's right. What a great dog.
Mellow.
How old are you? How old is he? Just almost a year. Oh, heard mom. See ya. Go ahead, go run around. If you need to go to the bathroom, go ahead.
See if he'll bite Sam.
Paulson right on that pitch in a 1-2 count.
Arenado at first with 2 outs. Can we keep him? Sure. This will be our broadcast mascot. Oh, wow, he's well behaved. He just gave Mom a high five. Did you see that? He sat and gave Mom a high five. Here's the 1-2 on Paulson. That's sharply hit, but it's cut off there by Espinoza, and that'll end the inning. Rockies up 1-0 as we go to the 5th. Bark in the park night. I love it. Not a lot to recap offensively. Strasburg's been good. De La Rosa's been good. Again, the difference, Paulson reached on a 2-base error by Ryan Zimmerman, moved around and scored on a wild pitch. So De La Rosa in the 5th inning will face Strasburg and then the top of the order. 1-0 Colorado. This game sits in a large contrast to what we witnessed last night. Huh?
Yeah, it is. Sure is.
Strasburg hit the ball pretty well his first time up deep right field. Margo chased it down on the warning track.
He will take a hack. 136 average this year, 3 for 22 on the year. Doesn't have an RBI.
That looked like a strike. Guess not. 1-1.
Wasn't
just off the plate. The off-speed pitch for a strike. 1-2. De La Rosa 74 pitches in here in the 5th. He needs a quick inning. He's walked 4, so the pitch count's up a little bit.
I'd like to see that a little better than 41-34.
This is lifted to shallow center. Blackman is there. Strasburg's retired. That'll bring up Jason Worth. Worth is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a pop to second.
First 10,000 through the gates. Next Sunday, he's going to receive a Jorge De La Rosa bobblehead. So get your tickets for that ball game. The Mets will be in town Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Already told you about the Carlos Gonzalez Star Wars bobblehead, and then you get a Jorge on Sunday.
The pitch misses, ball 1. And again out front is Worth. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nationals hoping to make hay after losing 6 games in a row on this trip. Rockies for 3, and then the next 9 also against sub-500 teams. They'll go home to play Milwaukee, San Diego, and then Miami. That's past Arenado to the left field corner. So Worth with the first extra base hit of the night. A 1-out double.
Just the 3rd hit of the night. First one De La Rosa's given up since the 1st inning in this ball game. He's had 4 walks in between that first hit. And that bat sweeps through the zone. It's kind of a very stiff swing, a lot like Hunter Pence, but always good results, a lot like Hunter Pence. A 1-out double. Now Espinosa, 205 career hitter with runners in scoring position. 164 this year. Last 3 years, 157. That's the lowest at the major league level.
Espinosa takes away ball 1. Ball 2, Espinosa, another one of those Long Beach State stars. There's a shortstop there as well. Very close with Tulowitzki. He's a freshman All-American for the Dirtbags, 3-time All-Conference player. And this is hit hard. DJ's there. 2 outs. Crossing to 3rd is Worth. So Bryce Harper, 1 for 2, will come up. It's interesting this year De La Rosa has actually allowed lefties to hit for a higher average than righties. Righties at 241 coming into the ballgame tonight. Lefties at 274.
Harper's National League ranks 3rd in average, 1st in home runs, 6th in RBIs, tied for 1st in runs scored, 2nd in total bases. And with Harper at the plate 100% of the time, De La Rosa starts out with a fastball. See if he does it here.
No, he's going to break that trend. I told you.
See, there you go. Somebody looked at the stats. They flipped it around.
Get rid of that 100%.
So on the 1-1 count.
I say here comes a splitter again, George.
And he didn't swing very good at that one. He hit the fastball very well out into the outfield. See, Nick Hundley, you just keep shaking off. Let's go to the fastball and see what happens away from him. He does. It's low and in the dirt.
All right, so they were right there. Harper's hit .303 against lefties, .337 against righties. 5 of his 30 home runs left on left. What do we have here? Fastball again, 100% of the time. 1-1. No, there's no way he's throwing the fastball here. Oakland. 1-2. That's a splitter. He throws a splitter more than he throws the fastball.
Well, it's going to be interesting here. Why not go back to it? Remember, you give Harper anything to hit fast, he typically catches up to it pretty easily.
What's the computer say? The fastball 1-2. I'm not buying that. Splitter in the dirt. 2-2.
Well, these statistics and these percentages are compiled from somewhere.
Yeah, it's not willy-nilly.
Right. It's not your guesswork. But sometimes even the analytics can be wrong on what's going to come next.
Yes, they can. Runner at third, 1-0 Colorado, 2-2 with 2 outs. And they splitter again, and it's this nub foul. They say that when Harper was catching growing up and he had a cannon, there's nothing this kid couldn't do. But one of the reasons they moved him is they say he would blink right before the ball got there, and wasn't
a lot of catchers do.
Yeah, it wasn't as smooth receiving the ball as they would like. Swung on and missed. De La Rosa goes off speed again and strikes out Bryce Harper with the tying run at third in the fifth. So it remains 1-0 Colorado, another splitter. This Colorado's #1 volume Lexus dealer. This is how the only run of the game scored. Wild pitch, and then the throw was wild to Strasburger. Perhaps they would have had a play on Ben Paulson. The Rockies lead at 1-0 on that play in the second inning. And again, Ben reached on a 2-base error by Ryan Zimmerman. Leading off is DJ LeMahieu in the fifth. .339 career average against Washington. He fouls this one off. Two hits for the Rockies, 3 hits for the Nationals. Coors has moved back to his seat.
She's got her hands full tonight with Coors. Got there hanging out.
DJ slowly hits it to third as Escobar cuts it off and makes a good throw. I would sincerely doubt whether Coors will meet DJ at the door after that later on tonight. And he's going to have a couple more at bats. Beautiful thing about dogs, they don't care if you go over.
No, they really don't.
Nick Hundley. Nick hit a hard shot that went off of Strasburg's glove, redirected to Desmond, who threw him out by half a step. Hitting slightly over 300 against righties. Third highest batting average of any catcher in Major League Baseball. Came in at 298. That's a strike. Good portion of the foundation of this club. First pick in the 2010 draft and 2009 draft. Strasburg first, and then the next year was Bryce Harper. Two kind of once in a generation type of drafts back to back, when you have players at the top with their ability, with seemingly can't miss ability. 2 outs. That was the third strikeout for Strasburg. Kyle Parker will come up.
Typically has trouble, and it's a young player at the big league level. First time through that he gets a look at a pitcher. His average is at 200. After getting to study it for that one at bat, plus in between innings, watch his patterns of what he does, he has more success. Did he have something here?
High fly ball, deep right field. Harper moves back and on the warning track makes the catch. 1-2-3 inning in the 5th. We move to the 6th. It's still 1-0 Rockies. Sports is brought to you by the Ford Focus. Big MPGs and fun to drive. Ford, go further. By Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. One nothing Colorado as we go to the 6th inning. 21 runs in yesterday's ball game. Just one so far tonight. And Jorge De La Rosa in the 6th inning will face Escobar, Desmond, and Zimmerman. 4, 5, and 6 in that Nats lineup.
And you can tell when he's on his ball game, 7 ground ball outs, 4 strikeouts, and just 4 fly ball outs so far in this game.
Well, the Baltimore Orioles helped out Washington's cause. They came from behind and beat the Mets 5-4 tonight. 4.5 separated the two clubs in the NL East at the start of play today. Ball one. De La Rosa has walked 4, and now he's thrown 90 pitches. So you have to wonder if he has a 1-2-3 type inning, is this it for him? A little bit low, 2-0.
It's kind of funny how the schedule makers know who's good, who's not, and all that kind of stuff. They play the Mets 6 times in the month of September and the last 3 games of the season. It comes down to Mets got a 2-game lead, or Washington 2-game lead, and they're on the road in New York.
Great theater.
They're in New York. They got to go to Atlanta 3, New York 3. They host Baltimore and Philadelphia at home, Miami at home. They have New York 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th of September.
Pitch walk to start the 6th inning to Yunel Escobar. That's 5 walks. Only one time this year as Jorge walked more in a game, and that came back in in May, on May 10th, when he walked 6 Dodgers in a 9-5 loss. Jorge went just 4 innings in that outing. Walks by the Rockies yesterday.
That's a pretty special player at home plate. He's the only 20-20 player in the major leagues each of the last 3 years.
Ian Desmond, yeah.
The brother-in-law of Josh Rennigan is pitching in Colorado Springs now in the Milwaukee organization.
Big time leader in their clubhouse also. Still lives in his hometown of Sarasota with his wife and 3 kids. Justin Miller's up for the Rockies.
More to get out of the inning. We mentioned the pitcher leading off the next inning.
And that's 6 straight out of the zone to begin the 6th inning. Desmond drives it to left, and Parker is going to have to pluck it off the wall. It'll be 2nd and 3rd on the double by Desmond.
Well, that ball was hit extremely hard, but not a ball to Parker. I think if you get the right read right off of the bat, you're able to cut it off, or maybe even make a play on the ball. Started retreating right off of the bat, straight back. That's a good pitch by De La Rosa. He just went down and got it. Good low ball hitter. Drove out into left field, playing a little bit shallow maybe in the outfield, but Parker able to chase it down, hold it to 2nd and 3rd as the ball got back into the infield. Daniel's shaking his head. He's shaking his head. If you're at home, he's shaking his head because he's frustrated that he walked the leadoff man on 4 pitches, and then on a 2-1 count gives up a double to left field. Frustrated with his own performance, not anything to do with what's happened in the field.
Nobody out, the infield back. Zimmerman has walked twice in the game. And he overamped that. It's 1-0. Zimmerman 313 in his career against De La Rosa. Run 5 driven in. And that's in there, 1-2. Now you try to hunt that strikeout.
I don't think he had to hunt it from the beginning with Zimmerman. You're not worried. I mean, it's a 1-0 ball game. In my opinion, with his stuff, he has the ability to go punch out, go get it.
The pitch that he produces the highest whiff percentage on is that splitter.
That's good enough. They can know that it's coming, and the results are usually the same.
Swung on and missed. He crossed him up. He threw a fastball up in the zone, and that's the first out of the 6th inning.
When you have the good split, you can make mistakes up and away with the fastball. They wanted this ball down and in. This ball sailed up and away. I mean, you can see where Nick Hundley has set up behind the plate. It was anywhere but there. And Zimmerman not able to get to it.
Rockies continue to play the infield back. You have Michael Taylor.
Well, you set up the double play now. You go ahead and walk Taylor. Then you got Ramos, who doesn't run that well. You keep your middle back. Your corners become tight at the plate. And what you're doing is you're trying to get your pitcher in the best position to come out with the game still 1-0 by turning a double play or getting a ground ball and be able to force the run at the plate. Taylor's throwing 109 pitches in a start this year. He's
going to throw more than that tonight.
He is going to throw, because I think Wald, I could be wrong, but I think Wald is going to let him either win or lose this game right here. He's not going to let the bullpen decide it. He'll let Jorge decide it.
Ramos has grounded into 10 double plays this year, 3rd most on the Nationals. Escobar 3rd, Desmond at 2nd, Taylor is at 1st. Ramos a walk and a ground ball to 2nd.
Well, he's come up with the bases loaded a few times this year. 375 average. The Nationals are 366 as a team with the bases loaded.
Strike 1.
The strikeout will give him a lot of confidence. He really just walked Taylor.
You got Strasburg on deck. One nothing Rockies. 4 hits for Washington. We're in the 6th inning. Line drive caught by Reyes. Nobody to double off. Nice grab, Jose Reyes. 2 outs.
Right place, right time. Dead pull hitter up with Ramos, and then they just kind of cheated over on the fastball when it got hit. 2 steps, reach, and be able to get it. Not a play at third, not a play at short. And the split finger plays big again as Ramos pulls his ball right to Reyes. 2 outs. And because of the pitch count, if you're managing right, it's 106 pitches. You take a pitch if you're Strasburg.
He did, and it's strike 1.
Right, but I mean, the thinking as a manager, right? Even though I know you got 133 average, whatever, but you don't have any RBIs.
You just want to maintain your focus, right, George, here after you got the 2 hitters you needed to get, and obviously you got to get the 3rd. And this ball, a bouncer to first, it's a foul ball.
And the Nationals 0 for 7 So far with runners in scoring position, the Rockies have had just one opportunity and they weren't successful.
And now again it's 0-2. Pressure on Nick Hundley because De La Rosa will spike that splitter from time to time, and sometimes it's by design. Second and third, nobody out. Zimmerman struck out. They walked Taylor intentionally. They get the line out off the bat of Ramos. Now it's 0-2 on Strasburg.
You know, still 90-mile-an-hour heater. Tried to elevate it. Nick Hundley gave the high sign with the catcher's mitt. He hit it, but Strasburg able to fight it off. Makes you find a few extra fastballs when that crowd gets behind you in big situations on 0-2 counts like this.
He got it.
Yeah, he did.
What a job by Jorge De La Rosa in a 1-0 game. Second and third, nobody out, and he prevents the equalizer from crossing home plate. Well done, Jorge. Mobile. This is a great one. It's like mom and son at the ballpark, huh? The Rockies leading 1-0. De La Rosa gone after 6 shutout innings, getting high fives, pats on the back, and well he should. He's had a very strong August. And he navigated 6 walks, one of them intentional, 6 strikeouts, and the last 2 were huge, obviously. Brandon Barnes will pinch hit for De La here in the 6th. 9-1-2 for the Rockies, trying to add on against Steven Strasburg. Barnes, who's not playing as much as he was a few weeks ago. Kyle Parker getting a lot of reps out in left field. Late there, it's 0-2. Barnes put a good swing on a ball last night, drove Jason Worth to the deepest portions of the park, extreme left center field. Probably would have been a triple, but he chased it down. Strasburg gets the strikeout. That's Strasburg's 4th. He struck out 12 Rockies in Washington. Gonzalez Germain will be in the 7th inning. Charlie, a single and a 10-pitch at bat in the bottom of the 1st inning. Also a fly ball to fairly deep right field. Breaking ball's in there for a strike. fastball line to center field, right at Michael Taylor.
Hey, get your tickets over the weekend. The Mets are coming to town. Call 303 Rockies or go to Rockies.com/tickets. So the second place in the East is leaving. The first in the East is coming in.
Mets will be here over the weekend. Tomorrow night, Rockies and Nationals conclude the 3-game set. Reyes 0 for 2, riding an 8-game hitting streak. And this is on 3 hops to Desmond.
Look at that arm. He knew he had speed going up the line.
Strasburg has retired 7 in a row. The Rockies on a wild pitch had the only run. Stick around on Root Sports for Rockies Weekly. We'll recap the best of the week. We'll talk to some coaches, plenty more. Don't miss Rockies Weekly Sunday right after the ball game. Woof, woof, woof. Root, root, root for the Rockies. She spent some time on that. That's well done. And the 2 dogs are pooped. Brandon Barnes stays in the ball game defensively in left field. And the Rockies with a 1-0 lead. 6 innings of Jorge De La Rosa will hand it to Gonzalez Germain. And Germain yesterday was the only Rockies reliever to not give up a run. In fact, he had a 1-2-3 inning with a strikeout. Everybody else struggled. Miller, Canley, Oberg, Friedrich.
And one of the guys he's going to face in that, Jason Worth, he struck out for the 2nd out in the 6th inning.
He's got the top of the order. Well, it's on the bullpen, and as everybody knows, this bullpen has struggled mightily, especially in the second half. 24 of the last 28 ball games, the pen has allowed a run. If you break that trend tonight, 1-0 on Worth, and you got him swinging on an off-speed pitch. It's 1-1. Two and one. Two balls, 2 strikes on Jason Worth. Swung on and missed. The strikeout. Jason Worth. Good way to start for Gonzalez Germain. That'll bring up Danny Espinosa.
Yeah, kind of same thing I said last night on Worth. He's known for his changeup. This time, particularly when he gets ahead, a very good changeup. This time, just four-seam dead red heat. See if you can catch up. He can't do it. Up and out of the zone for a strikeout on your Subaru Supermo.
Espinosa strikeout, looking a comebacker and a ground ball to second. His first at bat tonight, left-handed. Danny's not one of those guys that was converted at pro ball to switch hitting. He was a switch hitter his entire life. Two and 0.
Tonight they had 24,363 at the park. Last night it was through 24,320.
Well, it was 24,863 today. You got to count the dogs. Oh. It's actually over 25,000 with the Pooches. Where was it earlier this year? Because we've been at about 3 or 4 Bark in the Park nights, and I think it was at Petco where they announced the attendance, 26,386, and they had the dogs. Also, they said there's 387 dogs in attendance. So I wonder if we have a count here. 3-0 on Espinosa. That's a strike. Honey, you let him sit on your lap now. No, I want to sit right here. I love you both. Actually, I'll sit on both your laps. Ground ball foul. Did anybody bring a St. Bernard to the ballpark? About halfway there.
That's just an overweight boxer. Is what that is. I got one at home, so I know.
Swung on and missed. Gonzalez Germain comes all the way back and strikes out Espinosa. And they're 2 outs.
Now this fastball right on the outside corner. Great location with some good run on this fastball. Very difficult to do anything with it. He threw it right by him.
Bryce Harper, a single in the first, fly ball to center, and a strikeout. The strikeout in the 5th inning by De La Rosa. This is how clutch Jorge was tonight. Jason Worth was standing at third. Again, the tying run. And he got Harper on a splitter. And he had the 2 big strikeouts in the 6th inning with 2 runners in scoring position. De La Rosa goes 6 shutout innings. He struck out 6, allowed 4 hits, 6 walks, though 1 was intentional. That was the only downside of his outing. And this is in the air to center. Charlie is going to slide. He gets by him. And Harper's going to go to second. That was the one risk about trying to make that sliding catch. If it got by him, as aggressive as Harper is, he would move to scoring position.
Hey, you're trying to play aggressive, trying to do what you need to, but boy, if you miss this thing, I'm sure it didn't hit his glove.
Yeah, actually, he got there.
Yeah, I think he did get there. He was on the fly. The eyes are juggling, trying to catch it. Just came up short to hit his leg and then ricocheted on the Subaru Supermo. Showed it pretty plainly there.
Yeah, it's odd. Charlie did the hard part. He got his body in position to make the play. So Yunel Escobar at the plate, leading hitter for Washington, a .305 average. Infield hit, strikeout, and a walk so far. Tying run at second in Harper. bounces up there. They have not ruled as to whether that's well, now they just have. It's going to go straight double.
I think he thought this ball was going to be caught. Line drive. It's hit right there. Then all of a sudden he looks up and sees that it is not going to be caught. And then you see that speed that he has hustling in the second.
Another ball that bounces up. Chance to get him at second. And LeMahieu made the catch on the move.
Yeah, a great block again by Hundley, and a snap throw down. Harper started to take off.
Got to make a pitch here. 2-0.
Rafael Betancourt has started to throw the baseball in the Rockies bullpen. Escobar's average 298 beyond the 7th inning of a game. They got speed out at second. A ball hit, they're going to try to score. You got to be able to make the throw. The defensive replacement in left field for Barnes.
And ball 4. So Desmond will come up with 2 on. After walking 10 yesterday, that's the 7th walk for the Rockies tonight. Somehow they have managed to keep Washington off the board. It's frustrating for Steve Foster. Desmond a double his last time up. He scorched a ball to left. And ball 1. Desmond last year hit 255. The 2 previous seasons 280 and 292, so it's kind of uncharacteristic to see his average at just 230. Lifetime 270 hitter. '106 career home runs. 1-0 Rockies, top of 7. It's 2-0. Desmond hitting .354 his last 12, including 4 home runs. Dangerous bat right now. Jose Reyes comes in. Talk to Gonzalez Germain. How much you can do as a manager in these situations.
You just got to set back, trust who's on the mound, and hope they do accomplish their job.
Ball was close.
Yeah, the one guy you just never want up in these situations, that's Zimmerman in the on deck circle.
Not just because of his history.
He's hit the bell here in this ballpark.
Desmond firing 3-0, and it's 3-1. No surprise there. Saw him do that in Washington, even though he was hitting below 220 at the time. Got a manager who believes in him, a manager who was quite a hitter himself at Matt Williams. 3-1. Ball 4, and now they're loaded up for Ryan Zimmerman. 8 walks tonight between De La Rosa and German.
And Zimmerman's walked twice, struck out once. Steve Foster will make a visit to the mound real quick to talk to Germain. And Zimmerman, this is one area that he struggled beyond the 7th inning. He has hit .49 with a couple of home runs, 12 RBIs, but he has struck out 27 times. Follow the Rockies with MLB.com @Pat, the #1 app for live Rockies baseball. @Pat is up to the minute with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, and radio broadcasts, statcast, and more. Get MLB.com @Pat now.
Harper had that double on the near catch by Blackman, and then Escobar and Desmond walked.
Zimmerman 1 for 2. He's only had 2 opportunities all year with the bases loaded. Hope he's 1 for 3 after this.
One 0 Colorado, and that goes past Hundley, and then an errant throw there, and now the Rockies have a chance to get an out. They will. The overrun a third by Yunel Escobar. How strange is this? The game is tied at 1 on 2 wild pitches. The Rockies scored on a wild pitch in the second, and now Washington ties it up on a wild pitch in the 7th. Center field. 1 out. Well, isn't this interesting? There's been rumors for a while that Utley would end up perhaps in San Francisco while Joe Panik's hurt, but the Dodgers have acquired Utley, and $4 million from the Phillies for infielder, outfielder Darnell Sweeney and right-handed pitcher John Ritchie.
Whenever Howie Kendrick gets back, and he'll be back this year, that when he does get back, Utley's still a threat off the bench. He's back with his double play partner, Jimmy Rollins, and he's got the left-handed bats. It's a threat late in games.
Yeah, and he had said he wouldn't go anywhere.
And he had a no-trade clause. That's why he was able to say that, folks.
Right. He said he wouldn't go anywhere unless it was to be a regular. I'm sure he was influenced by the position in the standings of the Dodgers and the fact that he was going home where he grew up. Here's the 2-0 to Nolan.
prior to that, 17 of 22 first pitch strikes by Strasburg in this ball game. And it's a 2-1 count on Nolan Arenado.
Happy. There's that foul ball. That's fouled off.
89th pitch of the game for Strasburg at 97 miles an hour.
That's what he did when the Rockies faced him. 7 innings coming off the DL. He was still pumping 97 in the 7th in D.C. 1-1 game. And now Arenado is gone. That's 5 strikeouts for Steven Strasburg. Rockies have been limited to 2 hits. Blackman a first inning single, and Arenado the base hit up the middle of the 4th. Paulson scored the only run, reached on the 2-base error by Ryan Zimmerman, and then would score eventually on a wild pitch. The last time he had a 1-1 game in the 7th, and both runs had scored on wild pitches. Crazy. Two and 0. Zimmerman, Taylor, and Ramos in the top of the 8th inning for Washington. This ball's lifted to left field. Jason Worth backpedaling. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. That's now 10 in a row set down by Strasburg. Arenado the last to reach back in the 4th. One as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, Mark Stout. Ryan Zimmerman will face Rafael Betancourt. But here's a look at our CenturyLink link to what's next. Tomorrow, Max Scherzer. For the Nationals, Johan Flande, who's pitching well for the Rockies. And we're on the air again tomorrow at 6 o'clock on Root Sports with our pregame show. Betancourt finishing his warm-ups. While he does that, we'll visit with Mark Stat. Mark?
Just want to let you know the official dog count for Bark at the Park night.
Oh, come on.
I got it from the team. 575 canines.
That's outstanding.
Yeah, in the park, right?
I think we outdrew. I like that. We outdrew Petco's Bark in the Park night.
And that's Petco.
Yeah, that's right. Look at that golden. How beautiful are goldens. 43rd opportunity for Rafael Betancourt.
594 earned run average, 38 strikeouts, and 36 in the third. Zimmerman in his career 0 for 3 against Rafael Betancourt. Guys like Zimmerman are thinking about one thing right now. Get the ball, over the fence. 8th inning, tie game. Try to counter and stay out of that power zone with him. Keep the ball away and down, and that's what they're trying to do. They're falling behind 2-0. Last 5 for Rafael, been pretty roughed up. 3 2/3, 7 runs all earned. He has struck out 5.
Two-0 count. That's at the knees. 2-1. Casey Jansen throwing for Washington. Yep.
Through last night's ball game, 2/3 in an inning, gave up a hit.
Two. Greg Bird, George, out of Grandview High School, hit a couple of home runs tonight for the Yankees as they won 4-3 over Minnesota. Congratulations to Greg, 2-year-old.
Now the Yankees have had kind of a yo-yo going with pitchers, position guys. I'm glad he's taking advantage of his opportunity.
Zimmerman strikes out. Betancourt has the first man down in the 8th inning.
Well, one thing the Rockies have been able to do tonight when they get power hitters in strikeout situations, they've missed their target, but it's been in an elevated position, which takes it a bit difficult for hitters to get on top of that baseball, and he threw the ball right by Zimmerman.
Michael Taylor grounded into a double play, and he's walked twice, once intentionally. Everybody's reached tonight for Washington. It's strange saying that because they only have 5 hits here in the 8th, but with all the walks, the only guy who has not is Espinoza, 0 for 4. Ramos, the only guy who didn't reach last night. This ball lifted deep left field, but it's got a hook on it. It's well foul. So, in the interest of full disclosure, talking to Michael Taylor today, I told him we've had some fun with him on the broadcast because he looked so young, and he smiled and he said, "Yep, I've heard that quite a bit." He said, "I'd like to grow a beard like Jason Worth." He pointed at Worth. I said, "That ain't happening for a while."
For a long time. And that's probably a good thing.
1-1 on Taylor. That's foul back. Taylor is the son of longtime members of the military. His dad, retired major in the Army. Mom's a retired colonel. So I said it was yes sir, yes ma'am at home, huh? Yeah, absolutely. He's a baby. He's got 3 older siblings. Talented
kid, high quality young man, and he fouls that off. Funny how it works, George. He was not, after his junior year, really heavily recruited. He was good. The only offer he had was the University of North Florida. And then his senior year went so well, he ends up getting drafted in the 6th round. That was a tough decision for him. He made a promise to his parents that he would go back and finish his degree. This ball's lined to center field. Two outs, and that'll bring up Ramos, the catcher.
Well, Strasburg's night is over. Robinson has jumped out into the on-deck circle. I'm not sure they'd send him out, with Jansen heating up down in the bullpen. Just 93 pitches thrown for Strasburg in the ball game.
And that's a base hit through the right side for Ramos. And that will bring Clint Robinson to the plate.
Strasburg threw the ball extremely well tonight for the Nationals. 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It wasn't earned, and 5 strikeouts. .68 of those 93 pitches were thrown for strikes.
Outside, ball 1 on Clint Robinson.
Yeah, I guarantee you, he's thinking one thing and one thing only. I'm going to try to hit this thing out of the ballpark. He's 0 for 1 against Rafael Betancourt.
The 1-0 from Rafi. Ramos, a very conservative lead naturally at first, and that's a strike. Away, 2-1. Typical late ball games when it's tight. Pitchers are not going to let a power guy beat them on the pull side.
Fastball, threw it on the inner half of the plate at 91 miles an hour. Excuse me, 90 miles an hour, but a very good location, even to count at 2-2.
Full 3-2. Paulson behind Ramos, but close to the line, and that's ball 4. This is remarkable because that's now the 9th walk in the game by the Rockies, a day after they walked 10.
Yeah, different story here. Just one run scored in the ball game by Washington. Worth in his career is 0 for 5 against Rafael Betancourt.
I don't know if I've ever seen that back-to-back. I mean, every once in a while you see a blip on the radar screen where a team has a horrendous night throwing strikes, but then back-to-back, 19 walks in 2 games.
Shouldn't happen at the major league level.
Nope. Worth a double back in the 5th inning. Tell you who it's hard on. It's hard on Nick Hundley.
Yeah, it's hard to focus too on the middle infield. You know, because you're trying to stay focused through the entire game. Just underneath this one, took a shot to the shoulder.
A little bit high, 1-1.
Worth lines it to right. Cargo, track it, can't get there. 1 run is scored. Here comes the trail runner Robinson. He's going to score. It'll be a triple for Worth and a 3-1 Washington lead.
And a double makes it a 2-run ball game now. It's 3-1. On the line drive hit to right field. Boy, I tell you, pretty good pitch. On the knees, down, maybe a little bit too much middle of the plate. Worth hit it hard out of the reach of Cargo. He gave chase to it. Came up about a foot short of it. And Cargo, the ball bounced right back to him. And not a play made anywhere. The Nationals now just 1 for 8. Strasburg pumped up. He's excited. As he came out of that ball game, he'd be the pitcher of record right now if this bullpen can strand the Rockies.
Espinosa's 0 for 4, swings and misses there. So it's now 25 out of the last 29 games. The Rockies bullpen has given up runs. Germain gave up a run last inning to tie it on a wild pitch, and now Rafael's given up 2 here in the 8th inning.
All 3 runs have happened with 2 outs. Germain had 2 quick strikeouts,
and walks have been a factor.
Yeah, they have.
Ramos is single with 2 outs, but the walk to Robinson put him in scoring position. Three runs, 7 hits, and an error for Washington. A run on just 2 hits for Colorado. They've not had a base runner since the 4th inning. The strikeout ends the inning. The damage is done. Jason Worth drives in a pair, and it's 3-1 Nationals. 8th inning. Who wants tacos? Fans follow at Root Sports _RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special, and the Rockies score 7 or more runs. DJ LeMahieu with the Rockies trailing by 2 against Casey Jansen.
Not a big strikeout guy, not an overpowering guy. He just has 3 or 4 pitches, not afraid to throw the ball in the strike zone, particularly down in the zone. He misses there with ball 1 down.
It's a 1-1 on DJ outside, 2-1. And Strasburg now the pitcher record, 1 unearned run in 7 innings, just 2 hits, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Another outstanding effort by Steven Strasburg, 3rd straight coming off the DL, 2 in particular against the Rockies. One out, Nick Conley. Charlie Blackmon grounded the ball through the right side of the infield after a 9 pitch, actually it was the 10th pitch of his at bat in the 1st inning against Strasburg, and then Nolan Arenado bounced one up the middle. Those are the only 2 hits for the Rockies. Matt McBride is in the on deck circle. Pitcher spot now, the 8th spot in the lineup.
John Axford is getting loose in the Rockies bullpen.
Ball's pretty well hit to right by Conley, and it's going to die on the track. We've seen a few of those balls to right field die right there tonight. Bryce Harper the catch, 2 gone. That'll bring up Matt McBride, who had a base hit last night off the bench. First since being called back to the big leagues.
And John Axford mentioned him warming up down in the bullpen, getting ready to come out to pitch the top of the 9th inning. McBride, as Drew mentioned, got his first hit last night. Pinch hit role.
This ball in the air to Harper also. Casey Jansen works a 1-2-3 8th inning. And the Rockies without a base runner since the 4th inning.
The Toyota post-game show. The Rockies need a few runs to get back in this one. What a pitching duel we had from the start of this, though, with Strasburg and De La Rosa. We'll start with Wild Thing. Both the runs in the scenario with the starters were earned via the wild pitch, and then walk enough, you run. The Rockies have issued 9 walks today. Those eventually equaled runs out of the bullpen. We'll also get you inside the clubhouse. But guys, you can't let it end this way, right, Drew? I I'm firing you up. Let's go.
I hope not. No, you got to
George,
try
are
to
you still
figure out a
awake?
way to
George,
rally.
I am right here by
okay.
you, darling.
I just want to make sure.
Well, you said Drew, so I was being polite and let you talk to Drew.
Well, because we know that Drew might have taken a little nap there.
Not Drew.
I mean, you know, he was not.
John Axford on to make his 43rd appearance, 4-5 overall record, 16 of 21 in the save opportunities. And trying to clean things up and get through this 9th inning. Walks have been a little prevalent for him at 38 2/3, 23 to match up with 38 strikeouts on the year. The Nationals will send up.
Bryce Harper is going to lead it off. Then Escobar and Desmond in the 9th. Harper a single and a double, 2 for 4 this evening. You think back to that 7th inning when they tied it up against Germain. With 2 outs, he hit that sinking line drive that Charlie Blackmon had a chance to catch. He slid and got the glove to the baseball, but the ball just eluded his glove and it hit off his thigh and turned into a double. It was a walk to Escobar, a walk to Desmond, and then a wild pitch of all things scored the equalizer. But that's how the Rockies have scored their only run. 3-1 Washington, top of 9. Here in the 9th inning, the Rockies will have 9-1-2 in their lineup against Papelbon in the 9th. 39 times the Rockies have walked 10 or more in a game. Yesterday was the 39th time. The only time they've walked 10 or more in back-to-back games was April 24th and 25th, 1996. The reason I mention that, this is on the ground in DJ, is that the Rockies have walked 9 tonight. Escobar has walked twice. He also has an infield hit. He's 1 for 2. He's now hitting over 300. He had 258 last year with Tampa. As the fastball was in the dirt.
That fastball, what good fastball. 97 miles an hour from John Acker. Located in a very good position, the bottom half of the zone. Utilize that tall frame. Use the leverage down in the zone.
Two and 1.
Escobar's 0 for 1 in his career against John Acker.
That's a strike. Something you may not know about John Axford is Escobar not happy with the call. John not only has a degree from Notre Dame, he has a master's degree in sports management from Canisius College. 2-2. And that is a base hit to right. That'll bring up Ian Desmond, 1 for 3 and a walk. Desmond doubled in the 6th inning. A strike. One out, one on. Here's the 0-1 runner going, and that goes through Hundley as he was trying to make the transition to throw it. Stolen base for Yunel Escobar.
Let's see what happened on this play. Trying to backhand, the ball's low in the dirt, just went right between both of not only Jim Wolf's legs all the way back to the screen.
Just the second stolen base for Escobar. On the outer edge, 1-2. Desmond, the last vestiges of the Montreal Expos organization. When he was drafted, there was still the Expos. And the 1-2's in the air to Cargo in right center field. Escobar's trying to move up, and he is safe. What a throw by Cargo. Oh yeah. Had it the whole way, you know.
Yeah, Matt Williams saying, you're going to score either way. You want to go ahead and test one of the best right field arms in all of baseball with the most accuracy. It just about didn't work out your way. Gary Cedarstrom standing right on top of the play with the alignment of the throw and the tag.
I think Cargo's eyes lit up.
Yeah, he thought maybe, okay, you go ahead and take off on me. I thought he had it here. Good throw, too.
Yeah, perfect throw. I mean, that was a perfect throw. One of the reasons you come to the yard to see the talents of that man. Ryan Zimmerman at the plate. Two walks, 2 strikeouts for Zimmerman. Drove in a run in last night's game. Scherzer and Flande tomorrow night. And a base hit to right. And that'll bring home Escobar with the 4th run for Washington, and yet another run against the Rockies bullpen.
48 RBIs now for Zimmerman. One more to look at it. Fastball, outer half of the plate. Zimmerman well off of the plate. Took the ball on the outside corner and drove it to right field. Did a pretty good job of hitting. They have scored 13 runs in the last 3 innings of both of these first 2 games at Coors Field against the Rockies bullpen.
Well, going back to Saturday night, the last 9 relievers to appear for the Rockies, 8 have given up runs, 7 in a row. Taylor fouls it back. This is as rough a ride, I don't know how else to describe it, George, as I've ever seen a bullpen go through over an extended period of time.
Well, it hadn't been fun. There's no question about it.
On the positive side, speaking of members of the bullpen, Adam Ottavino continues his rehab from Tommy John, and at a week or so he gets to play catch out to 45 feet. He's doing really well. The strikeout of Taylor ends the inning. There was a 1-out single and a stolen base, and then a 2-out single to drive home a run. It's 4-1 in the ninth. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Mike Shaw Subaru, always our lowest price and sales and service guaranteed. By Jack in the Box, for a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. And by Office Liquidators, offering Colorado's largest selection and lowest prices for new, used, and refurbished office furniture. The city's aglow on a Wednesday night. The Rockies trailing 4-1 in the ninth inning. Brandon Barnes will lead it off against the former Red Sox and Phillies closer Jonathan Papelbon, who was acquired from Philadelphia at the trade deadline.
19 of 19 perfect and save opportunities. 2 of 2 here with the Washington Nationals.
He hasn't had many opportunities. No trouble getting the baseball to Papelbon with a lead.
Not quite the same guy he once was. He doesn't throw the ball up in the upper 90s, but nasty slider. The ball's still in the low to mid 90s. And it's the attitude that he takes to the mound more than anything.
Blackman on deck. Here's the 0-1. Jorge De La Rosa, despite 6 walks, left with a 1-0 lead after 6 innings. The bullpen has given up 4 runs, 1 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th. Think about yesterday's ball game, it was 6-6. This ball's pop up shallow center. Michael Taylor waiting. And in the 7th yesterday, the Rockies gave up a run, and then 4 in the 8th and 4 in the 9th, and it turned into an ugly blowout. 13 runs allowed in the 7th, 8th, and 9th the last 2 days by the Rockies pen.
Somebody had a pretty good night at the ballpark.
Got to bring the dog and got a baseball. Very nice. Charlie Blackmon is 1 for 3. Again, the Rockies' last base runner. They've had only 3, folks. In the 4th inning with 2 outs, Nolan Arenado bounced one up the middle. That's it. Since then, 14 straight have been retired by Strasburg, Jansen, and Papelbon got the first out, obviously, here in the 9th. Broken bat, Blackmon behind 0-2. Reyes on deck.
Blondie with 219 saves with Boston. That's the most in club history. Papelbon, who did I say, Blondie?
Yeah, he'll
just
pitch
got to read
tomorrow.
his name.
Yeah.
Papelbon with 219 saves. First in club history. 123 with Philadelphia. That was first.
And he's way behind in saves on Washington's all-time.
Going to be a while.
List.
Rob Nin tied with him. Jeff Reardon leads it with 152 saves in Montreal. Finished his career in Minnesota.
The bearded right-hander, Jeff Reardon.
Pretty good.
He was real good.
Great teammate to have, too, I can tell you that.
Hey, you set him up for a while, didn't you?
Minnesota for the last year, the World Series year.
Trying to get it to Cargo with some traffic. And a shattered bat roller to Zimmerman. And nice athletic play by Papelbon to reach up and make the catch and tag the bag. 2 outs. Looks like good cutters, George.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's a wise, crafty old guy that throws a lot of strikes. And again, I told you that's the attitude taken to the mound. He's asking for it. Give it to me early enough so he can get to the bag, find it. He knows he's got some speed coming up the line, and good feed by Zimmerman. A little bit high, but you're trying to move a moving target here. Papelbon 2 hands. He didn't want that popping out.
Reyes, after a 4-hit ball game, is 0 for 3. Got an 8-game hitting streak on the line. And it's sharply hit. Nice pickup by Zimmerman. That'll end the ball game. And the 3rd save for Jonathan Papelbon in his brief career with the Nationals. Washington comes from behind. They win it 4-1 tonight. Steven Strasburg gets the victory. He's now 7-6. Rafael Betancourt takes the loss. He's 2-4. Papelbon overall has 20 saves, including his work in Philadelphia. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Jason Worth, a 2-run triple in the 8th inning to break up a 1-1 tie. Fargo gave it a try, couldn't get there, and that proved to be the difference in the ball game. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Final score: Washington over the Rockies tonight, 4-1. Stick around. The Twitter postgame show is next.